Okay, let's take a look at downloading Pro Tools. So there's a few things we're going to need to do. First thing we'll do is let's go ahead and navigate to modules. And then after modules, let's go ahead and download or go right to where it says NU Pro Tools download and license. It's going to be the first module, straightforward. We want to go right there. If you notice, there's this preference file or config file that we'll need later on. So if you haven't already, you could download it right now. You could just click on it. It'll take you to this other window where you can go ahead and just download that. I have things downloading to my desktop. So if you notice it's just sitting here on my desktop now, you may need to find it in your downloads. But either way, that's the config file. You're like, what the heck is a config file? What am I doing here? You'll need that later, like actually the last step. So we went ahead, it's like a video game walkthrough, right? We went ahead and got the item earlier on in the level in the game, and you're like, why do we need this? Well, we'll need it at the end of this installation process. So what I'm going to do here is go ahead and click on the instructions tab. That'll open these instructions. So basically what we'll need to do is not only just download the Pro Tools software, but we'll actually need to go ahead and install it, and then also create something called or download something called the iLok License Manager, create an iLok account, and then authorize it through that software, authorize our NU license through that software. So it's a little bit more complicated than just downloading and installing. So that's why I made this walkthrough video, because it's not a straightforward process. So the first thing I'm going to do is click on this link here, and I'm going to go to KMD Pro Tools. You'll need to be logged in. So if you're not logged in, you won't be able to see this window, but I'm able to see it. And notice here it is. Here's Pro Tools 2024.6. So if I go ahead and click on that, I have a Mac, so I'll do that version. And you can see here is an actual folder that I can then go ahead and download. So I won't actually go ahead and download it. I guess I could. It'll take forever. But while that's downloading, we'll go ahead and download that, and then we can install that. I'll actually go ahead and download it because I need to probably go through the download installation process. It says it's going to take like 56 minutes. I don't think it'll be that long. I have some pretty fast internet here, but just understand if you're like in your dorm, it may take a while, which is not a huge deal, because while we're waiting for that to download, we can go on to the next steps. So I'll just go ahead and close this window here while it's downloading. By the way, you may have noticed too, under this Avid installers, there is the Pro Tools here, 24.6, but there's also a folder called Pro Tools Plugins. And we'll definitely want to look at this later. If I go to Mac here, and in here, there's all different types of downloads that we can do. The one we're going to want is the Air instrument bundle. You're going to need that actually as early as Lab 2, and definitely in Lab 4 when we do like a MIDI-tastic version of Billie Jean. All these other plugins you can download and install as well, just like we do Pro Tools. You don't need to authorize these, but they're a separate download. So if you have limited space on your computer, you might want to just download the Air Instruments bundle and then the Air Effects bundle, just these top two. You can do these loop masters and other things like 11, which is an amp modeler. You can do those all later or at a different time. So once I've gone ahead and download that, let's see where we at. It's moving real slow. It still says it's going to take an hour, so we probably won't be able to get to that step. So instead, what we'll do is we'll scroll down here. After we've gone ahead and download Pro Tools, we're going to go ahead and install it. You can do that through the install manager, either on Windows or PC. It also mentions here to download and install the plugins. The ones you want are the Air Instrument Bundle and the Air First Effects Bundle. To go ahead and activate this NU license, we're going to have to launch the iLok License Manager. So the first thing I would do, and especially like if you're still waiting for this thing to download, which it looks like, I don't know, it's going to take like 8 years or whatever to download. So I might just be busy today. I'm trying to do this like midday. So it's actually around 4 o'clock. So everybody's trying to send emails so that they can go home and not have to worry about work for another, like, what, 12 hours. Anyways, if we go to something called iLock, we can go to iLock License Manager. We can just go to iLock.com. And what we can actually do is we can go ahead. We want to download this software here called the iLock License Manager. We might want to first, or probably what we need to do is create a free account. So when you do that, it gives you this huge window here. You need to fill it out. Like you can make your user ID. I would say this though, for your email, you definitely want to use your Northeastern email. I should have prefaced this whole thing. If you have another copy of Pro Tools and it's not working, if it is working, you can use any copy of Pro Tools. I'm fine. But if it's not working, don't try to use that with this process. Completely start over and just use this new software, because the software you just downloaded, or that we're still downloading over here, only 42 minutes left, that version is specifically linked to this config file that we downloaded at the start. So if you try to use a different version of Pro Tools with this config file, it will not authorize. All right, so fill this out, and just like I said, make sure you use your Northeastern account. So once you've done that, it'll then give you the option to download this iLock License Manager. You can download it and install it. If you can see right now, I'm not signed in, so I'll go ahead and sign in. I, of course, am not using my school email. I'm using my D. Bielmeyer email, which is my Gmail, and I'll enter my password there. Oh, I don't think I entered it right. Trying to do too many things at once here. I think that's the one I want. And I sign in. It's not the correct password. Let's see. What is it? Is that the one? That's the one. Okay. So you can see I have a lot of stuff authorized, and not just Pro Tools stuff, right? I have all the Pro Tools plans and Avid plans, but I also have some of my Vienna instruments in here, just other plugins and stuff, Softube, the Waves bundles, which are some great set of plugins that I like. So these are all things I bought, and I just authorized through this iLock. So what the lab asks you to do next, or not the lab, but downloading this, it asks you to go up to, if we go back to the instructions, to activate this NU license, you want to go ahead to the iLock License Manager, which I just had open, and you're going to go up to License Manager at the top of your screen and select File in Windows, or select Preferences on a Mac. So I'll just make sure that iLock is open. And I'll go up to iLock License Manager and click on Preferences. So when I do that, it opens this like ridiculously large preference window. If I do that, I want to go down to the tab called Network and My Connections. And it asks you to go ahead and we're going to license it. And if we hit this little plus symbol here, we're going to add new thing. And it says, do you want to add a server, or, basically we're going to authorize it over a network. So we can either add a server, or we can add a server with a config file, meaning this config file, you can think about it, that we just downloaded, basically is like our key to access the school server, which will authorize our Pro Tools. So when I did that, I have to actually let iLock License Manager allow it to give it full control of my computer. So I do that, and if I go to desktop here, we have to allow it to do that. And then there's that com paste file, the config file. So we'll hit open. In here, then I have to put my username, email. I could do all that. I don't want to do that, because if I do, it'll mess up my other authorizations. I guess I actually could do it. I don't want to mess up my Pro Tools. Let's try it anyways. I'll do D. Bielmeyer at Northeastern and .edu, and then .edu. This is a lot of fun. And my phone number is 8675309. If you get that reference, then you're, I don't know, probably not cool. All right, here we go. Let's connect. So we connect, and look, it said server connection successful. You have successfully established a connection to the server whose IP address is this. That means now, and you see I'm connected. So that means now if I just hit OK, I'm going to hit cancel so I don't apply those changes. But if I do that, revert all preferences change, yes. So what that means is I'm still going to use my old iLock. But now when I go to open Pro Tools here at the bottom of the screen. When it authorizes, it will authorize using that server key. Let's see, did it finish downloading Pro Tools? It did. Cool. So do we want to go ahead and try to install it? We could. By the way, it didn't take 40 minutes because I have not been talking for 40 minutes. I mean, I can talk, I can lecture, but that was not 40 minutes. All right. So if you notice, it downloaded to my desktop here on a PC here. It's just a DMG, which is an install file. And let's see. Yeah, we'll ignore it. It didn't want to open it because it was afraid. Let's go ahead and open it. Let's see, is it going to let us do that? So now it's just ignoring it. Awesome. Okay. Well, anyways, we could click on that and it'll just let us go through the install process. Just downloading it, by the way, is not enough to install it to your computer. You have to go and click on install it. It'll eventually then show up in your applications under either Avid here where all the installers are. There's also the uninstaller here. By the way, if you have an old version of Pro Tools and you need to get rid of it, the uninstallers are in here as well. And then the actual software is Pro Tools down here. If you notice, I have Pro Tools sitting on my dock, so I'm ready to rock at any given time. So you might want to do that too. You can just actually just drag it down to your dock if you want from that window. Cool. Well, I hope that helps. It's still a pretty complex process, kind of complicated, but hopefully these walkthroughs make it a little bit easier to understand. As always, if you have any issues, you can reach out to me. I've also put in the instructions here, Hyacinth's, who is the production manager, as well as the studio manager, Maxine. I put their information in these instructions as well, so you can contact them for more help.